think the toque was a bad idea today. I need to get a haircut. I should be okay for now, I think, yeah. I just won't put a jacket on for a while. I need to get...
My bangs are usually like this.
Yeah.
I put anything on
Burnt.
quite a burn. I got teased a lot last night.
I got the opposite of that problem. That's why I need a haircut. All my hair hangs in my face, so I'm always trying to wear a hat or a two-coat here. So just make sure to see if we're live. So awesome, I guess we're good to go. We're live, so good morning, everybody. Another beautiful day. We're into second summer mode now. It's nice and warm out and no wind and it's sunny. It's awesome. I love these days. And then lots of whales too. We're just pulling out from launch and we're seeing a bunch right around launch here, and I'm looking towards the mouth and there's a bunch out there. So I think it's going to be a good day, and on top of it all, we know we can get out to Eskimo Point now, so big bonus. We got lots of places to go find whales, so that's good news. I'm Kyron McIver, for those of you tuning in for the first time, and we're in Churchill, Manitoba, Canada, out on the Beluga boat, and we're searching for beluga whales here in the Churchill River estuary. And today I'm joined again by Meg.
Hi everybody, I'm Meg Hainstock. I'm the Senior Director for Canada with Polar Bears International. Polar Bears International is just saw a little calf bob his head out here. It is one of the partner organizations in this venture out on the Beluga boat. So we've got explore.org, the main partner that brings you live animals, as you know if you've been to their website.
Right,
there's the calf again. Hopefully it comes along and follows. And we have some other partners involved in this venture. Sea North Tours, you can see their sticker on the back of the on the motor, and Parks Canada, and that's it. Yeah. And so Polar Bears International is the only organization in the world that focuses solely on polar bears, on wild polar bears and the conservation of them. And we do a lot of outreach work, and this it's not polar bears, it's beluga whales, but it's a really good conservation story to bring to the world and to highlight the beauty that you find in Churchill, which is the polar bear capital of the world. We spend most of October and November up here while the polar bears are migrating back out to the coast to wait for the sea ice to form. And we love the community and all of the wildlife in the area. We think it's definitely a worthy cause to bring these beautiful creatures to the world. So
the beluga whales also fall somewhat into the same category as the bears, like in terms of changes in the environment, and they're going to be struggling in a lot of the same ways.
Absolutely.
As the bears will be. So
bears depend on ice. If without that ice platform to hunt seals from, they would be in a big trouble. So as climate change is melting the sea ice, both seals and polar bears are facing some issues. And with belugas, they don't have a dorsal fin, as you've noticed. They have a dorsal ridge, so they don't have that big fin sticking out like other whales, like whales that prey on belugas, like killer whales or orcas. So they're able to make their way in and around sea ice where their predators cannot, and that's definitely a bonus for them. So with less sea ice, we do have some concerns about what will happen as those predators with the fins are making their way further north.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, orcas never used to be able to come here, and now they're able to come into Hudson Bay. It's accessible to them now, so we got to hold a big one right at the camera right now.
We have a good group with us right now. I see an adult. Is that the one close to the camera?
Yeah, it's just beside me.
And some juveniles, and I think there was a calf in there. Seem to be following along with us.
Yeah, we'll see how long they stick with us, and then we'll cruise over and see if we could find a nice
Hello.
clean water again. Actually, with this little bit of cloud cover now, it's making it super easy for me to see the screen. It's not as blurry. Oh, I got a nudge on the,
I was gonna say.
the prop guard there.
So one of my favorite things on the beluga boat is watching when they're coming alongside. And they do spend a lot of time at the back, and they're attracted to the camera and like to chew on it. But sometimes they'll come over to my side here, port side, and just cruise along right beside the boat and twist their little heads up so they can get a look at you up on the top of the boat.
Check this out. Just looking back at some photos from yesterday. I had a busy afternoon and evening, so running around taking care of some other things, so I didn't get a chance to look through all the photos, but yeah, they look like they're a lot clearer when we were spending our time out near Eskimo Point. So, I'm sure we might venture back over there today, depending on how things are looking towards the mouth here. Oh, we're getting some photos coming in already. Kathy sent a few in.
Looks like the above deck camera is facing in a good direction to see a little calf amongst this group. Keeps bobbing his head up a little bit more than everyone else.
Oh, there's a few out there.
There are, yeah. Yeah, there's a few in the group. Did you see that?
No.
Oh my god. Just love them. Yeah. There. Seems to want to lead the pack, this one calf at the front here.
It's taking charge. All the sure beats yesterday's trip in. It
Yeah,
got
that
a
was
little
pretty
choppy. I'm sure people
choppy.
noticed at home. With the tide going out plus the wind and stuff, you can't like really, there's no real right way to navigate through those waves. I was trying to go upstream a little bit so that we can cut back and follow the waves in, but they're all over the place. It was right when we were leaving is when the wind really started to pick up.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, every now and then we felt like there was a bucket of water thrown in our
Yeah.
faces.
Yeah, I was pretty wet by the end of it all.
Yeah.
I got, someone sent me the video from Nat Geo. They had, there was someone flying a drone, and they're, I think in Alaska, I think is where it was, and they're flying over a mum and a calf, a beluga, and the water's just crystal clear, and it's just those two whales is all that's in the shot. But the calf is swimming up and flipping upside down and rubbing on the mum's back and stuff. Is really, and this water is so clear, and you could just see it's a really neat video.
Wow.
I like Nat Geo. They always got a lot of interesting posts and stuff coming up on Instagram.
Got some whales here on port side. One with a few notches out of her back. I'm assuming it's a female, not sure, but she's got a little calf with her. Doing its calf thing.
There's a couple there again, eh?
Oh my god.
They just prop themselves right up out of the water.
Yeah, little torpedoes.
That's not,
Is that you?
nope.
Might be me.
So I just see here, Carla posted she's having trouble with the snapshot icon. I think because it's a different site now, it's not the same troubleshooting things that we've done in the past. I don't know, I'm just looking up at the featured comment. They used to have steps that you could take to try to get that icon back. I can't remember exactly what the ones are now with the new website, but hopefully it'll pop up for you if you maybe refresh the page, or maybe it'll just come with time, but it seems to be working for a few people. We're getting some pictures popping up. I guess get the speaker up and running. I made sure today not to have my Bluetooth going. Shut it off beforehand. Finally remembered. Oh, Greg possibly posted that video that I was talking about with the belugas from Nat Geo. He's got the link there to check it out. It's pretty cool. It's a really nice video of a beluga and its calf.
Got the groups approaching us from behind again, mostly on port side.
Water's getting a little clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah, here comes some under the boat. We got a group right in front of us too. I'll try to kind of turn here and see if we can get up alongside of them. We're starting off again with them all over the place. I got one coming on my side. They're pretty chill again today, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the group we passed by the launch seemed to be maybe feeding.
Mm-hmm. Here's one, or a couple.
Hey guys.
I was wondering, the more I think about it, I can't stop like thinking about this snorkeling. I was wondering because, like, I just wonder why did they pay like so much attention towards me, and maybe because everyone commented, like, even in town when they were watching it, that I just looked like I was, dead floating in the water because I wasn't moving at all. And maybe the whales, and maybe I was making some weird distress call for that noise that I was making, and they're trying to
Save you.
chomp their jaws at me to wake me up or snap me out of my haze and roll me over so I could breathe. I don't know what it was. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out why they're...
Yeah.
And maybe that was it, because I just made sure I tried to lay as perfectly still as possible.
Yeah.
And I could just see them clamping their jaws, like, trying to, like, bring me
Wake
to.
up.
Yeah.
It's like somebody snapping their finger in your face.
Yeah. Who knows? I'll never know. Hopefully they didn't think I was in distress. It's cool if that's what they were doing, but I'd prefer to think they were hanging out.
Yeah. I have heard stories like that.
Yeah.
Was it a swimmer? I can't remember where they were swimming, but they were in a little bit of distress, and some whales, some belugas, were pushing her to the surface.
Yeah, it's nuts, and I've heard that in an aquarium as well. Beluga assisted somebody to the surface.
Yeah.
And someone that was out with us, I can't remember who exactly, said there's been stories of orcas guiding boats through the fog.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're ways, like, we've recognized, and we're learning more and more just how smart they are, but
Yeah.
I still think, like, we're only scratching the surface.
I would agree with that, for sure.
So I think we'll putter around here for a little while and see what it's looking like, and then I'll be paying close attention to the radio to see how things are looking over in Button, or out at Eskimo Point there. Is that the Wilson
I think
sisters
so.
there?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait. That's Dick for sure. I think, yeah, I think it is the Wilson sisters.
Does Judy have kids? I thought she said one of her, was it her daughter or son were coming up?
Yeah. Yeah, he'd said something about having his grandkids out first, and
Uh,
then maybe it will be. I thought that was one of the Wilson sisters, but now I'm not seeing Liz. So the Wilson sisters are just up here visiting, and they're just a hoot. There's 3 sisters and their mom. I think
Judy was
she's.
one that we had out on the boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Judy's on the board of the Churchill Northern Study Center. And Liz Wilson is a lady I worked with. I worked at Ducks Unlimited as their national conservation biologist for 9 years, and Liz was a good friend. So
Oh, really?
I spent the evening with them at the Churchill Northern Research or Study Center gala on Friday, and then spent the evening with them last night. And they're just so fun. So if we see them out on the water, maybe we'll go and try to say hello.
Chat with them, yeah.
That would be great.
If you guys were tuning in, yeah, Judy, she was with Jordan Bunka that day, who was out. She was kind of taking a lot of photographs, and that was when we were talking with Jordan about that research vessel that he was on for a few days earlier in the year. That sounded really interesting too, what he got to do there.
Yeah.
Um,
On the Admonson.
mhm.
Yeah.
It was bigger than I thought. Like, I guess, well, I didn't really know what to expect, but he said I think there's 80 people on board, something like that. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting a big ship.
Got a few around us, one right at the back. Maybe just shift it over towards the camera, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, I'm having trouble seeing in the water today. I think we'll be clear water again on this side. Can see that foam in the water. They're still on the starboard side. There's one juvie at least and a bunch of adults. Oh, it's getting warmer.
Yeah.
A lot warmer. So I guess a good time as we pull into the clearer water here. I can see the tide line will be approaching it soon. Good time to chat about beluga bits. You might have a different take on it than me, I guess. They've heard me explain it a million times.
Sure, yeah, I can explain it. So Beluga Bits is a project with a few different researchers and Explore.org and PBI. And I guess all of the partners involved with the Beluga boat are helping with Beluga Bits. But it's really to figure out a little bit more information about the whales in the estuary and Churchill estuary. And it's a great example of a citizen science project where scientists recognize that citizens can contribute to scientific research very well. And so this project was actually Stefan Peterson, the head of research and conservation at the Assiniboine Park Zoo. He works out of the International Polar Bear Conservation Center there. And actually, he and I did some research here on belugas for a while, and really saw so many great opportunities with the great work that Explorer and the Beluga boat were doing to capture photos of whales, and to have folks like you guys listening today help us process those images and take those images. There are a few different things we don't quite fully understand. Few pieces of the puzzle are in place, and we know a few things about whales and generally their structure, their social structure. But when we're looking at whales from the surface, we don't really know what we're seeing. We know, what age class it is, so it could be an adult or juvenile or a calf, but we don't know the composition of the group in terms of what sexes are and what the sex ratio is. Are we seeing all males when we see all adults? Are we seeing males with calves as well as females? Do juveniles babysit calves? It looks like they do at times. So with this project, with the underwater cam going live and streaming, we're asking folks to take photos, to take snapshots. Is that the tool that they use?
Yeah. So we, I guess, call them snapshots just to, because people were at first, and it hasn't actually, they're doing really well with it. It's just the screenshots.
Not
like Stefan explained, the snapshots are more better quality photos, and they also have a timestamp, which makes it easier for them to catalog.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're looking for, the two main things. So as I say, we really would like to understand the group composition in terms of males and females. So if they turn around and show you their bellies, they're basically showing you their bits. That's why it's called beluga bits. And so if you can take those snapshots when they're showing you the belly, then those snapshots will go into the Beluga Bits project, which is a Zooniverse project, and you'll have a link to go to when you're on the explore.org website. And with that project, then we'll have other citizen scientists looking at the images. We have some great fact sheets there showing you what a male looks like and what a female looks like, and explaining the different age classes. So you can actually you can take the photos and then you can process them in a Beluga Bits. The other thing that we're looking for in the images is markings on individuals. So some of you are probably already familiar with whale ID catalogs. So some popular ones are you'll see humpback whales that everybody's got a little bit different of a dorsal fin and patterns, coloration patterns. Likewise for killer whales, they have different shaped fins, and then they've got that saddle patch. It's like the teardrop shape, white shape, just towards the back and below the dorsal fin. So we take images of killer whales, especially in the high Arctic, but all over the place, and then catalog them and decide which ones, come up with different individuals based on unique patterns.
I wanted to see if they'll come over here.
Yeah, we're just kind of stalling out here just in case what looks like maybe a mom and definitely a little calf want to come over. I think maybe they
close.
are.
They might come under the boat. Might get a shot in the camera.
Yeah, check out the underwater cam and see if you see them. Hear a little buzz there.
Yeah, and we're in nice clear water now too, so. Oh, there they go the other way.
Oh.
They turned around. I don't know if he would have if they came close enough.
They look like they're pretty relaxed right now, resting.
It's nice to see, before we even mentioned it for the day, yesterday, someone referenced the project or whatever in the comments, so it's good that people are taking such an interest in it, and we've been getting loads of snapshots. It's awesome. I've enjoyed looking at them too.
Yeah, it's such a great community. It's really incredible what a group of people with an interest in an animal can do for that animal just by taking a snapshot of them, something they might enjoy doing anyway.
Yeah.
And the more we understand about these groups, the better we are able to conserve them. So this is great.
Very obvious in the message board how much people love the belugas and love Churchill, and
so nice.
I see Greg posted the link for the Citizen Science Project, the zooniverse.org. We also have it, I believe, just looking up in the featured comment section. Yep, so if you're scrolling down from the video feed, that's where the comments or the message board are, and there's a featured comment at the very top, and we've got a few things up there, the beluga boat schedule, the links if you want to learn more about the Beluga Bits project. They have photos and stuff on the website that show, say the difference between a male and a female, or
Yeah.
it explains a little more in detail, I guess.
For sure.
If you're wanting to know more.
Yeah, so I was telling you a little bit about the marks there. So when we have a marked individual, it makes it much easier for us to determine that, okay, that's a unique marking, and we'll call that individual A or B. And then to be able to go back and compare that mark if you see a whale like another time. I think maybe the calf is coming.
Is that calf down there?
A smaller.
I got the camera to
whale here.
that area.
Yeah, so markings you might find in a beluga, it's a little harder than whales with the big dorsal fins. But it's got to be something that would be permanent, a permanent marking. So as you know, looking at these guys underwater and above water, they have some different marks when they're going to need to molt their skin when they're here in the estuary. But more of a permanent mark might be a big notch out of the dorsal fin,
or deep. We've seen some crazy scars this summer, but it's very obvious that they're like deep gouges opposed to just on the surface where, like you said, they molt and it disappears the next year, or becomes.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that!
Oh my gosh!
Calf just popped up right behind.
Is here. So
Sometimes
cute.
when we just sit and drift, we get the whales interested.
Yeah. You went over towards the camera, so hopefully.
Yeah, it's pointed in that direction. Hopefully you'll see it.
They're so wiggly. You see them underwater and they're just kind of flapping along.
I know for the larger whales, like when we've seen them swimming under, and you got even snorkeling with them, or when we've got the GoPro down there, like we're moving along. Sometimes when I said they like to chase us, and you're going at a decent clip, and you have the GoPro in the water, and it doesn't even look like they're working to keep up with you. It's just like they're just soaring somehow. Like Superman sticks his arms out and flies and doesn't kick his legs or nothing. That's what it looks like with the beluga whales in the water.
That's great.
They said when you see them on the cameras here, like the underwater cam, when you watch highlights and stuff, it just looks like, I always say, you took a big canister filled with beluga whales up in outer space and opened it up, and they all just drift out in like different angles, because it doesn't look like they're doing anything, and there's no reference. It looks like void, like empty space, and these beluga whales just in all different circles and angles, and it's so weird.
Funny. Hi guys. They're just coming along on port side, showing me their bellies, saying, "Take photos of me."
The more animals you seem to watch, like you can see in their behavior, like they're always wanting to conserve energy, right, and be as efficient as possible. Like the black bears, they're always, they take a few steps, and then if they're sniffing at something, they'll sit down and do it. Like they're never, doing more than they have to, it doesn't seem like.
No.
And the belugas, they're just chilling out all the time. And
yeah, I was thinking about that. We were talking yesterday about how once a polar bear's in a leg hold trap, that it just kind of sits down, and they're probably, they've got to conserve their energy, especially in the summer when they're essentially without their fatty seal meals.
Yeah. And when you think a female potentially be going 8 months without eating, then she's really got to be mindful, and bringing calves up to boot, or not calves, bringing cubs up to boot, like, then that's even more reason to conserve your energy.
For sure. They're pretty much superstars in the mom world, that's for sure.
We were saying how much, there's numbers for, I can't remember exactly what they are, how much food, say, a cow needs to consume, how much food and water to make a pound of beef.
Yeah.
And it's not the most efficient thing in the world, but then I think it was Jim mentioning, it's like 90-something% of the fat they eat off a seal will go directly into their fat stores. Like they're very efficient at
the polar bears
absorbing that nutrition or that energy.
Yeah. Yeah, super critical to get that fat store going.
We could try moving again. We're getting a few that keep kind of showing up, but
I think we've got some under us right now.
we could wait too. Yeah, they weren't necessarily following us, so sometimes if we just bob around, they hang out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what they're. Oh yeah, there's one under the camera. I don't know if it angles that far to see it.
Yeah, they're just kind of milling about today.
Mm-hmm. You've been seeing more of these birds now. I don't know if it's a different type of tern.
It looks like what are they called? Not a sandpiper. I'll have to get another good look at it. It's got some banding around its face that.
And around its all around the perimeter of its wing is black.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, some kind of shorebird.
I tried to get photos of them the other day. I forgot my camera again today, but I like the colors on them. They look cool.
Yeah.
They're similar, like the profile and stuff looks close to one of the terns. It's a little bigger, I'd say, but.
Yeah.
There's one bird. Oh, now I can't remember what they're called. Chris was talking about them, and they specifically, how they feed is getting fish from other birds, like terns and stuff. That's the only way that they acquire food is from stealing it from other birds.
Parasitic.
Yeah.
Not glock. I'll remember. Put some brain energy into it.
Yeah, kind of a jerk in the bird world.
Yeah, totally.
And they're quick, I guess. Like they can hit the bird or whatever they got to do to cause it to drop its meal, and then they're able to swoop down and snatch it up before it even hits the water again. Yeah. They're supposed to be pretty agile.
Yeah. Jaeger. Parasitic Jaeger?
That sounds like it might have been it, yeah. More and more photos popping in.
Yeah, we've still got.
We're getting cool photos. I like it's weird you get the black backdrop. Oh, we got a whale right by the cam now. I've got a big picture of Bubbles from Kathy. That's cool, and Bubbles with the whale underneath it. We're floating right on the line here. Mm-hmm. We're in the murky stuff. Yeah, they're still coming over.
Yeah.
They seem to like just sitting here today.
Yeah.
Works out good though, because the tide's coming in, so we're not really drifting out that fast.
So I was just talking to the owner of Sea North Tours before we came out. He said this will be their last day for kayaking.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know.
They're winding up the season.
Yeah, I seen the paddleboards were packed away.
Yeah.
I didn't know their kayaks were next in line.
Yeah.
I guess though it's so much for them to put away too. They probably can't wait, until the very last day and then do it all at once. They kind of got to do it in increments because they've got quite a few boats and lots of equipment.
Sounds like we have some company.
Yeah. Getting loud.
Have you been out kayaking, Karen?
No.
No?
I tried a couple times, but they're booked so much, and then it was just tough to get out and do it. Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah.
That'll be maybe something for next year. I even looked at originally bringing up my own kayak,
Yeah.
but obviously the train kind of kiboshed that. It would cost me a small fortune, I think, to fly it up here.
Yeah, that's
A
true.
big clunky kayak.
Be great to have one up here though, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's not like you'd be able to get out from time to time, but it's surprising there's not tons of downtime, you know, like there's always stuff to do. You're always busy and running around, so, but it's still, I would have been able to get out a few times a week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been fun. I was gonna...
Yeah, it's sad to think that the season's winding down, but
I know.
I guess it is.
We'll hold on as long as we can.
Yeah.
Looks like snorkel group heading out.
Yeah. Should be a good day for it.
Actually, there is quite a few whales right out from Eskimo Point there, eh?
Yeah.
You can see them all. There's not a lot of Sea North boats out quite yet, so none of them are really over there to let us know what's going on, but seeing quite a few whales surfacing.
Yeah, definitely.
We can stick it out here for a few more minutes though and see what's going, see what happens. I'd sure like to see a bear though. That'd be the ultimate, and our best chances at Eskimo Point, and then we could also get fairly close, like to shore.
Yeah.
Best chance of seeing it on the camera.
Yeah, it'd be great for everyone to see that.
We've been waiting all summer. See if these ones come over.
Yeah, these guys are just circling around
Yeah.
us, it looks like.
Keeping their distance. Yep, there they go. One is underneath us. I'm just kind of faintly seeing it. Eastender's commenting on